All right, good afternoon, guys. Today I'm going to be presenting an environmental scan as well as Porter's 5 forces. So as we know, for the environmental scan, the 5 factors are step C: social, technological, economic, political, and competition. So for social, for the Hofstede model, we see that Canadians have a very high score in individualism. This means Canadians are more likely to prioritize I rather than we, which are not traits of an effective leader. This means it takes them more initiative in regards to taking care of themselves, and they show less responsibility in the business world. This also impacts the struggle Mr. Boheimer faces choosing a new successor, as he seeks a selfless individual who wants to put company interest first. Another characteristic of social we see that stands out in the model is that Canadians have a low score for long-term orientation of 36. This shows Canadians have an inability to plan for the future, which is bad for the legacy of SSL and Boheimer's legacy. So for technological, Survival Systems Limited, as I said before, SSL, has the most advanced technological equipment available for its company. All of its courses have the strongest trainers and equipment available. They focus heavily on research and development to remain relevant in this niche industry. They have a strong history of clientele, and they have a strong history of research and tech, which the new CEO must match. In terms of economic, the financial crisis of 2007-2009, which is still playing a role in this, is a major problem. Unemployment is at 10%, levels we haven't seen since 1982. The industry itself and the economy is down, so investors are bullish, and people and companies are less likely to invest and use this product as it is less essential. Yeah, so as we see again, lowers customer and industry size. So in terms of political, Survival Systems Limited became much more accepted after the Ocean Ranger oil rig sunk in 1982. People really bought into the safety and survival training after they realized it was very important. This showed to the government the importance of it, and it gave SSL strong contracts, such as contracts with the Marines and the Navy. In terms of competition, the main competition for Survival Systems Limited are other survival training companies, of course. There are minimal competitors, but due to the shape of the economy and a minimal demand, there's less entries, but there's less clientele, so there's more competition. Survival Systems Limited, due to its diversification in terms of being able to manufacture products while also providing a service, sets it apart from other companies and makes it stronger and unmatched in the industry. Also in terms of constant innovation, very important for the industry and SSL, as it keeps interest in their products, and it also helps in terms of researching market factors to assure efficient but effective prices for consumers to build loyalty and trust so they stay. In terms of Porter's 5 forces, which I'll also be examining, as we know again, the 5 are threat of new entrants, threat of substitutes, bargaining power of customers, supplier power, and degree of rivalry. So in terms of the threat of new entrants, there's low, as there's little to no competition. The startup cost for a highly specialized company, as this very niche industry, is very high. Also due to the shape of the economy and less interest, as we saw in the stock market crash, and the fact that their Navy contract was dropped, shows even more so that there is very little new entrants, as is a very risky industry. In terms of threat of substitutes, it's also low to medium, I would say. Only a handful of companies and corporations provide similar services equipment, and also, as I mentioned before, SSL, in terms of its diversification, in terms of providing manufacturing for products and also providing a service, sets it apart. Also, as we see again, as I mentioned, they had the Navy contract before the recession struck. In terms of bargaining power of the customers, we see this as medium, as the price set by Survival Systems will be firm, as again, they're able to manufacture their own equipment while also providing a service of this highly specialized product. SSL, as we see again, they impact the bargaining power of customers due to its strong ability to attract clients, which makes limits bargaining power of customers, as they are the head of the industry, and companies are less likely to flood to other competitors as they have a strong grasp. In terms of supplier power is low. Since Survival Systems manufactures its own product, they just need to purchase supplies in order to manufacture these. We see these resources to manufacture these products easily accessible. In terms of metal and other common goods that are used in making this equipment, again, are easily accessible. Number 5, in terms of orders by forces, degree of rivalry. Degree of rivalry is high, as there is only a small handful of competitors. Again, small competitors, but due to the shape of the industry and low interest, they are all competing for these clients. Limited contracts available due to small pool consumers, again, of this good and service dictate that even SSL, as an industry leader, will be constantly facing competition and constantly need to strengthen current relationships with clients and build loyalty and trust so customers stay. Again, these customers include, which have set them apart, United States Marine Corps, United States Army, oil and gas refining companies, and again, the Navy. Thank you.